just got a text here. Hey, Fletch, how did the big Steve Menzies rumour turn out? LOL. Am I buying you a carton or do I get a hat? Well, I'll tell you next week.
You said by the end of next week.
By the end of next week, Western
end of this week
Sydney
now.
Eagle. I said Stephen Menzies will leave Manly and will join Parramatta.
Yeah.
That's all I said.
On a 3-day camp in
On a
Port
3-day
Macquarie.
camp in Port Macquarie.
Wow, you guaranteed he'd be spotted in the colours. So we'll see how that plays out. Speaking of NRL news, that's obviously the biggest story in the National Rugby League at the moment, but here is the rest of it.
It's an NRL news update. Subscribe to SEN League on YouTube and the SEN podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Okay, Brian. Now, Michael Maguire, inverted commas, stands down from the Kiwi role. Announced on Friday afternoon during his 6 years in the Kiwis role. 6 years he's been there. He won 12 of his 18 test matches, including a record 30-blot victory over Australia early this month in the Pacific Champs final. This is hello hospital pass to the next person in, isn't it, Brian?
Look, I can understand. So do you think, reading between the lines, Sugar, do you think he went back to New Zealand Rugby League and said, look, I'm keen to do this, but I'm also keen to do the New South Wales job?
Yes, quote unquote. Yes.
But what about the Raiders? Gone?
Well,
Raiders have gone?
I think had he been part of New Zealand and the Blues, I've got no doubt the Raiders would have fell by the wayside. But I know almost for a fact that New South Wales Rugby League had no issue at all with him coaching New Zealand.
No,
they saw it as in, we've got him for this period. We want to win the series against Queensland. From there, go and do what you want.
Yeah.
And I totally understand that.
I just can't believe how they've, what they did in that Pacific Championship, and how they did it, the style they did it in. Why wouldn't you just say, right, one more year?
I bet you if you ask the players, all the Kiwi players, and I'd be shocked if I'm wrong here, I reckon they'd all want him.
Well, obviously they didn't ask them.
Yeah. I reckon they'd all want him. David Riccio in the Daily Telegraph writes this, and this is a quote from Maguire. It's saddening I can't go on. I'm shattered. I never wanted to go, but the New Zealand Rugby League want to go in a different path, and I just want to wish them well. I want to go out gracefully. I'll always want to leave an organisation just got some in a good place, and I feel it's something I've worked hard to do. To see where New Zealand Rugby League is now, we have a very special group, and I'm proud of the contribution I made there. I'm really disappointed. Coaching these Kiwi boys has been one of the highlights of my career, and I felt we were beginning to build something special as a team. I have great gratitude to the Kiwi guys. You tour together, you go through so much together, and what I'm really proud of over progress over the past 6 years period, I was looking to continue our success towards the 2026 World Cup.
Exactly. That's the pinnacle of what he's done. To be a head coach and to win the World Cup, and they were on track. What did you say? 12 out of 18.
Yeah, 12 of 18.
12 out of 18. I mean, there wouldn't be too many other New Zealand coaches with a better record.
No.
And now the issue is who they're going to put in.
But the 30 blot.
Exactly. And you've had success.
Yep.
I mean, why would you change that?
Corey Parker, in other news, wants the Broncos to sign Reece Walsh to a record deal. Bomber Bedell writes this for the Courier Mail. Brisbane have been urged to make Reece Walsh the highest paid player in the club's 35-year history by offering him a $1.1 million bonanza to stave off an NRL poaching war for the Broncos star. Corey Parker wants the Bronx to prioritise the retention of Walsh by almost tripling his current salary. He's 21. And he heads into the 2024 season as one of the NRL's most underpaid superstars on just, and we say just, but $400,000.
Yeah, his time will come. Woo. Be cool. Be cool, Yolanda.
Quick game of Rankham.
Relax, Corey.
Quick game of Rankham.
Yeah.
If there was just an open auction,
yep,
the highest three paid players would be who?
Now?
Forget salary caps, forget where you're at. Not if everyone went to the open market.
Nathan Cleary.
He'd be number one.
Yep.
Number
Caleb
two.
Ponga would be very close. Number two.
Yep.
And Reece.
I've got the same trifecta.
There you go. But me being a forward, what's Payne Haas? He's on $1 million.
Yep.
So there you go.
What about, where's Harry Grant land in all this?
Top
10?
Top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, top 10, but not. You asked for top 3, didn't you?
Yeah.
I just threw an extra one in for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I throw a thing in here? We've seen the Tigers, Bulldogs, Dragons just throwing themselves at anyone who comes up. Could you see an absolute ridiculous offer with the new conditions on the table where the team gets 11 days to match it, could you see one of these teams just throw an unbelievable, maybe even record deal for Reece Walsh when he comes off contract? And is that why Corey's sort of saying you got to lock him in?
Well, how long is he locked in for? So it's not
next year he comes off. 2025, end of 2025.
Yeah. But there's got to be, I get what Corey's saying, but for every player who a club's gone in, paid overs, like at the time, they've paid him $400, which at the time was a good whack for him, right? There's been many players who haven't justified the $400. The club don't get their money back. So, so he at the end of the day, and I know this sounds bad, but Reece Walsh and his management committed to the $400,000 deal.
Yeah.
So I know you want to keep him happy, so you clearly have to increase
upgrade.
it.
I mean, that was.
But you don't have to go to make him the highest paid player in the game. Well, you've already done a deal with him on good faith. I think that if they bumped him up to 800 or 900, fair play. He's already signed the deal.
Give him an extra 3 years. Go 800, 900 a mil.
Perfect.
Okay, done. Corey.
Perfect. I don't think you need to
Corey?
make him the highest paid player in the game.
No, I think
Not
maybe Corey's got shares in his management company.
Maybe. Speaking about the Broncos, boys, the Warriors are on the hunt for Kurt Capewell. Now, Kurt Capewell, what I'm hearing, he was spotted with Coach Webster over in New Zealand, and he may well be a chance to be in the Warriors' colours as of 2024.
Effective immediately.
He's 31, I think, in July, and they're looking at a 3-year deal. Would you sign? I know money plays a major part. At what price do you get him for? But would you sign Kurt Capewell for 3 years?
I probably wouldn't do 3 years. The fact that what they've done with Jackson Ford, so Webster's obviously got something about him to get his players to respond like him. Jackson Ford was nowhere to be seen. Dragons didn't want him. He was playing second grade, and look what he did last year. I think he's that good a coach that he could go out and maybe get someone a lot cheaper and a lot younger.
I agree with that, but
he's a fixer-upper, and I know you're not a fixer-upper. You're not a fan.
He's not so much a fixer-upper, Kurt Capewell.
At 31?
He's just come off a grand final.
Yeah, I know, but
and he
I don't think I could give him 3 years, no.
Coach Webster would have coached him at Penrith for a few years, so he'd well and truly know what the bloke's all about there.
Yep.
The Broncos have recently secured Jordan Ricky and Brendan Piakura. I like both them.
Yep.
They're great signings. They've locked them into 2027, but they have lost for 2024. No Farnworth, no Fox League every game live every round, Flegler. And Keenan Palacia also joins the Dolphins. So Palacia to the Dolphins. Titans.
Yeah. If I'm the Warriors, you know what I'd be going after? Satili Tupanua. I know he's just re-signed.
Yeah.
But no, what I'm saying is they've got the Roosters back row. They've got all the Butcher Boys, Angus Crichton, Satili, Siwa Wong. Someone's not going to fit in there.
Correct.
So is an Angus Crichton a better fit for the Warriors than Capewell?
Maybe. Yeah. Well, he's probably got a bit more cage in his legs, hasn't he, Angus?
Where did Sewer go? Jaden
Probably be
Sewer.
good for him too,
Dragons.
He's re-signed?
Still there. I think he's a free agent for 2025.
We like him, don't we?
I love Jaden Sewer. Origin player.
Yep.
You know how he's ending up? Dolphins, I can see it.
Yeah,
Kenny
Wayne.
Bromwich going.
Yeah, I can see that for sure too. David Riccio saying that Murata Nakore may move to middle to accommodate the Capewell signing and the expected loss of Fonua-Blake. Speaking of AFB, Gould meets with AFB. Another not-so-secret meeting, people are saying. Gus was snapped at the airport with the Warriors forward. The Bulldogs will be up against the Dragons for Fonua-Blake's services. That's a tricky one, because...
Gus is taking the piss now. Like, you're having secret meetings at the airport where 3 million people pass every single day. Now he's just joining up everyone up.
I love it. Just the only thing I'd say about the Fonua-Blake signing is you're going to pay absolute top dollar. Top dollar. I wouldn't say that he's played... He did have a good season at Manly, but I wouldn't say he's played his absolute best football in Sydney. I reckon the Warriors, he's played his absolute best footy.
So you're saying because he was sort of out of the fishbowl?
Well, you're going to pay money on Fonua-Blake, but you're going to have to expect that he plays to that amount of what he's done at the Warriors. Will he do that? He might do it. I don't know.
Neither do I, Sugar. That's why we call it a gamble.
That's it, Tyson. Setback for Tyrrell Sloan. He's picked up a syndesmosis injury, so he did that in the Koori knockout, but has since broken his thumb. So that's no good news. Flano on the injury. We've had a major hiccup with him suffering a syndesmosis in the Koori knockout, which is unfortunate, and then he broke his thumb. So everything I had planned for him in early December went out the window, but we'll get there.
Yeah, that's sad. That is sad. But something's come to my attention here. I'm not going to put the name to it because it says, please don't mention my name. Boys, take it to the bank. Connor Tracy gone to the Dogs to play fullback.
Really?
Well,
are you taking that to the bank?
Please don't mention my name. How can they possibly afford him now? They can't take another player. There's 6 players are exactly the same sort of utility values.
They have got
a utility team.
They've got 17 number 17s.
I know. It's a utility.
Haven't they?
Utility bills. Gas, electricity.
So who have they got? Who could fit the utility role? They've got Connor Tracy.
1.
Blake Taff.
2.
Kurt Mann.
3. The answer.
The answer. Drew Hutchison.
4.
Yeah. Who else? Keep them coming.
Who else? Jakey Turpin.
Yes.
There's 5. Who else did they get?
If they don't get Kurt Gidley to go and be some kind of coach there.
I'm surprised Wingy's not coming back either. Let's have a team of just all-round utilities. There's someone else. There's another one.
And it'd be good for
Joshy Curran?
This would beat the Hitachi highlights.
Is Joshy Curran, is he considered a utility?
Crichton would, wouldn't he? Fullback centre, 5'8".
Burton as well.
So
throw him in.
They'll be the only team. Forget about the Hitachi highlights. They'll be the only team, right, where on Team List Tuesday, they just all get together in a room and they go, righto, boys, where are you playing? Oh, I'm on the wing this week. Where are you? I'm playing 5'8". What are you? Halfback. I'm fullback.
And that might be part of the plan. Who knows?
I love it.
Like, just throw it out there and, like, you kick off, then all of a sudden, Blake Taft's at halfback. Yeah. The next play's a fullback. How did you do that?
Imagine all the listeners, watchers who were going off in the World Cup when we had the fixed numbers.
Oh, yes.
Heads are going to be falling off. They'll not know who's playing. The one's playing 6. It's like having Costello out there.
I'll never forget Tim Sheens one year. He brought me into a meeting and he had me sold. He looked me in the eyes. He said, mate, you're playing 9 this year. I said, oh, you beauty. And I later found out that Bengali, Dean Hallertau, Daniel Fitzhenry and Robbie Farrow all told the exact same thing. Yeah. All 5 of us.
Oh, my man here said Satilli grew up in New Zealand, plus he recently got engaged over there. Oh, so he might be going to the Warriors. That's cheese, headless horse, head in bed.
Oh, I like that.
Headless horse, head in bed.
Yeah, we like that.
That rolls off the tongue quite.
We like this. By the way, Brian, NRL confirms broadcast deal for Vegas doubleheader.
Yes. Writes
Bomber Bedell from the Courier Mail. The NRL's historic doubleheader in Las Vegas will be screened live on primetime American television. ARL Commission boss Peter V'landys has successfully negotiated a landmark TV deal that will see the Manly South and Broncos Roosters fixtures in Vegas to kick off the 2024 Premiership, shown live in the United States, with Abdo confirming the doubleheader will broadcast to the American public via Fox Sports 1. That's where Dougie Gottlieb is and
this is a big deal. This is a big deal.
Massively.
The NFL season's over.
Yep.
Ice hockey season's over. If you're looking for a little bit of, what do they call it? Mungo ball, as the elitists like to. That's what they call it.
Yep.
The 15 aside, Mungos.
Yep.
That's what they used to call us. I'll give you Mungo. WGD, Pete said, weak gutted dog. Here's another 14.
Oh, yeah.
Well done, Pete.
Salmon.
So it's a team of 17s.
Yeah, it's so good. The deal has been struck after a series of high-powered negotiations in recent months and has the support of News Corp chairman Lachlan Murdoch. So that's an important piece of the puzzle. Who's a passionate fan of the Brisbane Broncos. Fox Sports 1 in America. 90 million homes it's in America, Puerto Rico and the Caribbean.
Do you think would get... Okay, how many would turn it on and after 10 minutes go, I'm off this?
Yeah, probably a lot.
Would you? Okay, what's a sport that... cornhole throwing.
Yeah. Oh, look, you can't turn off cornhole throwing.
No, you can't. No, like AFL? You give AFL a go if you'd never seen it before? Sorry, listeners.
Yeah.
Sugar's boat just turned up. That's how he's getting home.
You know what we're going to do after the break? A grades after you, Brian. A grades after the break.
There is A grades coming up, but look at all the. There's a giant ship here, listeners, just in the overseas passenger terminal. Look at that.
You a cruise man, Brian?
No, I'm not. That's got gastro written all over it. Level 4 to level 12 there, gastro side.
If you're in New Zealand and you want to have your say, text 8833 or slide into the DMs on Instagram at Joel Fletch SEN. You are listening to The Run Home with Joel and Fletch. If you are locally here, you know the number 1300 01 1170 or text 0457 736 736. After this, the A grades
Yes.
and the Michaels. I'll break it back with more.